I began crushing door-to-door sales once I learned this, and I'll be teaching in this video because I still remember when I got started knocking doors like it was yesterday. I drove up to my very first neighborhood in my 5-speed Toyota Tacoma stick shift, and I had a stack of flyers printed out. And I knew that for days leading up to it, I was nervous, I was anxious, I kept getting in my head, what am I gonna say? How do I start the conversation? What if I upset people? And to keep myself from just showing up and then leaving, what I decided is say, okay, I'm gonna print these letters out. This was, by the way, that started the battle pack, the idea of that. And I taped a company flyer. By the way, things evolved. And I was like, all right, I'm not done until these are at least on doors of people that aren't home. And I pulled up in the neighborhood. I'm like shaking. I'm like, do I park in the driveway? Do I park in the street? Where do I go? So I get out and I walk up to the first door, and it was almost like tunnel vision, like fear. I don't even remember the first door I knocked. What I do remember, and I share this story in my book. Actually, I got a copy of it right here. I'm sending this out to someone as we speak. Anyway, I share this story in my book that as I start knocking doors, I'm in this neighborhood, and what no one told me is don't go to this neighborhood. I worked a hailstorm this in 2011, and I went to ground zero like 8 weeks after the storm. So I got my teeth kicked in. Everyone's laughing at me like, you're the 100th roofer here. So anyway, learned a lot. And I'm going to share it with you right now. So Adam Bensman here, welcome if you're new. And if you're not new, welcome back. I am very excited to have you here. And if you are new, this book is a must read. It became a #1 bestseller on Amazon. It's called The Roofing Sales Survival Guide, written by yours truly. If you're an audio person, I narrate this. And if you want a free copy, click the link in the description. It's available in my free training center. Free digital copy, no catch. Let's rock and roll. Roofing sales is personal development in disguise. And the reward for growth is life-changing. I hope my content helps you create a richer life and bank account. All right, first, I want to talk about what goes wrong with door-to-door sales. There's sadly a lot of, I don't want to judge, but I'm going to come across being judgy. There's a lot of bad sales training out there, and it's not because people are bad, and it's not because they're trying to teach the wrong thing. The reason that I say it's bad is because it makes people feel bad. That's what I mean. So when I say bad sales training, it is because two people feel bad, the person using it and the person listening to the pitch. So let me give you an example like what not to do. I was recently truck shopping, and I shared this text message I got with my wife. It was too funny. I ended up passing the dealerships like, we're super aggressive. We're going to work real hard on pricing, blah, blah, blah. And they came back at MSRP. I'm like, dude, you said you're aggressive. This is not aggressive. You showed me MSRP. So I was like, I'm going to pass. And then he basically was trying to overcome it, and he goes, Adam, no one needs a new vehicle. I know you said this is a want and not a need, but no one needs this. No one needs a Rolex. No one needs a jet. And no one needs a new GMC Sierra AT4X AEV edition. Winners know what they want, and you're a winner. So let's do this. And I was like, whoa, bro. And again, this is car sales, and I'm applying it to roofing sales. But the idea here is that this guy, what he did is he pushed me. And there's 3 big no-nos with door-to-door sales. No-no number 1 is pushing. People don't want to be pushed. There's pressure and pushy are different. So pressure can be healthy, challenging someone to see a different perspective. And I'll share more on that in a little bit. But being pushy to push someone into buying this car, like, dude, you just told me, you basically lied to me. You said you'd be aggressive, and then you showed me MSRP. That's not aggressive. The only thing that was aggressive was your attitude. And then you told me that winners know what they want, and if you're a winner, you should buy this vehicle. It's like you're pushing me into the thing, okay? Don't do that. Number 2, big no-no when you're in door-to-door sales is to show up selling something. And yes, I know you're in door-to-door sales. I know you're showing up. But if you show up and they open the door like, hey, I'm here to sell you stuff, or you attempt to sell people or have this idea that you're going to close them, people sense that. There's a wall of resistance because no one likes to be sold. Everybody likes to buy. So if you've heard a pitch that tries to cover like everything up front because hey, I'm here selling a discount at this, and we're giving roofs away, or we're in the neighborhood doing free inspections. What you're doing is you're opening up with a sale, and that doesn't go well. That is like a big lead into rejection. And the reason for that is when I ask someone if they want something or offer them something, there are 2 answers, and that's it. Yes and no. And most people, to defend themselves, will say no because you're at their home, which is their castle. So if you try to sell out of the gate, you're going to get rejected, and you're going to get rejected really quick. Now, the final no is you cannot have this mindset that you're there to get something from them. This feels predatory. People that are in sales that are self-serving, they generally don't last long and they don't have very many happy customers because it's all about them. What can I get from you? Where in sales, in reality, and it's funny, the car salesman that sent me that message, I actually spent some time chatting with him and I was like, dude, the secret in sales, because his discovery when he sat down with me, he literally got out a checklist. And by the way, I admire his drive and his hustle. I really do. I'm by no means picking on him. We all start somewhere. We all learn. I'd said a lot of stupid things in my life. So anyway, we really connected on a real level. And I was like, man, I know you asked me in the beginning, you said, who else would be driving the vehicle? What are you using it for? And he went through all these questions. I said, listen, man, when you're in sales, you have one job. That is to help people get what they want. I'm going to repeat that. When you're in sales, you have a job. It's to help people get what they want. So instead of you thinking, what can I get from you? Your job is to say, how can I help you get what you want? Okay? So now that we've uncovered all of the mistakes that keep people from being successful, I'm going to share with you what I learned that helped me crush door-to-door sales so you can too. And these were let's first get mindset. My mindset shift was, I am there to start a conversation and to discover how I can help. And if you're like the note-taking type, write that down. You're there to start a conversation and discover how you can help. So you'll see how this comes to life in my SLAP formula. And if you haven't learned that yet, I'm going to share a video at the end of this. So stick around. All this will make sense. And then at the end of the video, I'll link to the next one for you to dive into that. And by the way, if you're using the SLAP formula, because I just saw it being passed around a lot in some social media groups, just drop a comment and tell me so you can inspire others. How has it helped you? How has it inspired conversations for you at the door? Okay, so that's the mindset shift, is you're not there to sell anything. You're there to start a conversation, which emotionally, you can wash off all the nerves and anxiety. You're showing up. You're like, hey, here to start a conversation, find out if I can help you, discover how I can help you. All right, let's go to number 2, which is a tactical piece of advice, and that is to ask great questions. Okay. Again, in the SLAP formula, that's the A, ask an open-ended question. So again, if I offer you something out of the gate, that's yes or no, and we haven't even started a conversation hey, we're doing this, we're offering free inspections. Would you like one? No, done. Whereas if I show up and I ask a question, and there's a few different questions you can ask, I'll give you my top 2 favorite ones. Favorite one, where are you at in the process? Or when was the last time you had your roof inspected and routine maintenance conducted? Okay. Or well, let me just leave you with those 2. There's more, but I don't want to overwhelm. The idea when you ask an open-ended question like, where are you at in the process? Where are you at in the roof replacement process? Okay. All right. I'll give you another one. What did your insurance company say when they came out? So if you're working storms, which many of the folks here are, and then again, if you're retail, when was the last time you had your roof inspected and routine maintenance conducted? So again, let's just talk retail for a second. I'm not going to show you would you like a free estimate on your roof? I'm going to discover if I can help. When was the last time you had your roof inspected and routine maintenance conducted? Most people know or don't think about routine maintenance and can't remember when they had it inspected, which is great, because what I've done is I've started that conversation. I've had them take a pause to process, because it's I didn't give them an easy out on yes or no. They'll have to be okay, I got to think about it. And then they're going to engage in conversation, which allows me to then continue the conversation about how we can help, what we're going to do, what we can look for, and how we can get eyes on the property for them so they don't have to climb the roof and get on a ladder, which is the number 1 cause of injury or death. Actually, I don't know if that's a stat or not, if it's number 1, so don't quote me on that one. But it is a very dangerous task to get up on a roof, especially if you don't know what you're doing. And most people haven't seen their roof, so they're going on this blind. And you're going to remove the mystery and the fear of being taken advantage of and give them a very clear insight. What's going on with your roof? What needs maintenance, if anything? They're going to see it with their own eyes, be their own judge. And in that way, now or in the future, you know exactly what's going on. Okay. All right. Then, which leads me directly into the strategy, which we'll talk about. So that's why, again, we are going to ask great questions. And for many people reach out for book recommendations, and I'm going to give you one of my favorite ones on asking great questions. And it's How to Find Out Anything by Anyone, Anytime. And now that I just shared it, the author's name's on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, drop a comment. I don't want to screw it up. Drop a comment. Go on Amazon. You'll search for it. The gentleman that wrote it is one of the interrogators for government. He wrote the rule book. Phenomenal book. And again, the author's name is just slipping me. So if you have any other book recommendations on asking great questions, drop it below. This way we can all learn from each other here. Appreciate you. Okay, now let's get into the strategy. This links back directly to what people shouldn't do, and that is trying to sell right away. So the strategy is to think of it in 1 step at a time. You show up, the goal, knock the door. So step 1. Number 2, Start a conversation. You're there to discover how you can help or if you can help. Number 3, then we create the need or the desire for us to get up on the roof for an inspection or an assessment, and that's it. Then once we're down, this is when we're going to present our findings, and this is where the sale begins. But again, we're not going to sell, we're going to present the findings, and then we're going to move into our presentation. So you need to just remember, like, a lot of new salespeople try to do too much too soon and skip ahead. But if you slow down and you shake it out and you use these 3 pieces of advice, 3 tips I just shared with you, which is start a conversation, discover how you can help, ask great questions, remember, take 1 step at a time. You're going to start easier conversations, get on more roofs, make more sales, have happier customers, and get more referrals. So to help you on this journey, click into this very next video and you're going to find out how to use the SLAP formula. And by the way, if you want a free copy of my book and more training, click the link in the description and I'll be seeing you in the next one.